afternoon, fans, and welcome to Robert S. Harrington Field on the campus of Western Washington University for today's season opening match featuring your Western Washington Vikings and the Chico State University Wildcats. Prior to the start of today's 90-minute match, we'll introduce the starting 11 for both teams. First, for the visiting Wildcats of Chico State. The starting 11 is announced by head coach Felipe Restrepo and his assistant coaches Austin Schwartz and Glenn Finley. The captain, at defender number 16, Preston Ball. The goalkeeper, wearing number 1, Emmanuel Padilla. In the midfield, wearing number 3, Benjamin Ralph. In the midfield, wearing number 4, Brian Manriquez. In the midfield, wearing number 7, Silas Sells. Also in the midfield, wearing number 8, Caden Hoteling. In the midfield, wearing number 12, Josh Mall. At defender, wearing number 13, Dawson White. At defender, wearing number 15, Carson Zarate. Playing forward, wearing number 19, Elijah Beverly. And at defender, wearing number 31, Garrett Powell. Those are your Chico State Wildcats. And now for the host Vikings of Western Washington, as announced by head coach Greg Brisbane and assistant coaches Chuck Pitts, Matt Zagulis, and Kyle Langowski. At defender and today's captain, a junior from Sweden, number 21, Joar Tidblom. At goalkeeper, a sophomore from Seattle, number 33, Charlie Dyer. In the midfield, a senior from Bothell, number 2, co-captain Lucas Akamada. In the midfield, a senior from Everett, number 6, Caden Wall. At forward, a senior from Sweden, number 7, Alden Janssen. Playing forward, a senior from Auburn, number 10, Andrew Roeder. Also a forward and a senior from Renton, number 11, Eric Funnel. In the midfield, a sophomore from Mount Vernon, wearing number 13, co-captain Quao Serrato. In the midfield, a senior from Snohomish, number 17, Aiden Fernandez. At defender, a sophomore from Bergamo, Italy, number 18, Sebastiano Silvetti. And at defender, a sophomore from Seattle, number 19, Ruvel Tisbe. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we gather today on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples, who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands and North Cascades watershed from time immemorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and Nooksack Tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. And now, fans, would you please rise if able and turn your attention to the flag to the right of the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem. Chico State starting 11, wearing number 31 today, and in the starting 11 is Jacob Bernison.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Robert S. Harrington Field and back to Vikings soccer on Vikings TV here in 2024 as Western Washington University gets set to take on the Chico State Wildcats in this year's season opener and this year's home opener. The Vikings coming off a 6-6-6 record in 2023, looking to build on a season in which they fell just short on a number of occasions, a record number of draws and a number of one-goal losses, ended up leaving them out of the postseason picture, and their quest to return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019 begins today, and they start against a Chico State team who are acquainted with the NCAA tournament going last year after a very impressive regular season in the CCAA. Chico State went 11-2-7 during the regular season in 2023, 4-1-6 in conference play. Were granted an at-large bid to the tournament. Were knocked out in the first round by CSU Pueblo, but a really strong campaign in 2023, and they come into 2024 nationally ranked number 18. Now, the last time the Viking men played here at Harrington Field was Senior Night 2023. That was also against a ranked team. Simon Fraser University came in on Western Washington's Senior Night, and the Vikings upset them 2-1 as they sent off their seniors into graduation. And they're looking to make it 2 straight wins at home against ranked teams, but this is going to be a mighty test for the Vikings. The Wildcats played the Vikings last year in non-conference play as well down in California. A 2-0 win for the hosts. As we are underway in 2024, my name is Adam Race. I am your voice of Viking soccer. So glad to be back with you here. A beautiful day for soccer at Harrington Field. A doubleheader, men's and women's games happening. The Western Washington women taking on Metropolitan State University of Denver right after this game at 7 o'clock. The Vikings in dark blue moving from left to right on your screen, and the Wildcats in the white moving from right to left. Joar Tidblom wearing the captain's armband whips it into the middle. It's left by Aiden Fernandez. Long pass ends up the feet of Andrew Roeder, who sends in a driven cross all the way to the other side of the box. Albin Janssen gets onto it. Quao Serrano, the creative midfielder out of Mount Vernon. That pass is taken away from him and cleared away by the Wildcats back to midfield. Now, Vikings last year had their fair share of opportunities. They led the GNAC in shots per game. They were having 15 shots per game, but just 1 goal per game. Finishing was something that they could not get consistent. And that was their major downfall in 2023 as a foul is called here. The offending party is a first-team All-GNAC selection, and Sebastiano Silvetti commits the foul on Chico State's Elijah Beverly, the forward out of Sacramento, California. Chico State coming off such a good season out of such a competitive conference and returning 20 players from last year's squad. So this is an experienced team. They know how to win, and they know how to play together. This is going to be a big test for Western Washington. This free kick's going to be whipped in by the captain, Preston Mall. One of 2 Mall brothers in the starting 11 today for Chico State. One-man wall is Quao Serrano. And in net, Western Washington's goalkeeper is Charlie Dyer, making his Western Washington debut. Whipped into the box, headed only as far as Beverly, who's going to let it go out of bounds. That'll be a Western Washington throw. And the threat from the free kick is averted. Now, Western Washington, they may have had trouble putting the biscuit in the basket last season, but on the defensive end, they were elite. They ranked second in the GNAC, letting in just about 1 goal per game. And that center back pairing that you see out there right now, Sebastiano Silvetti, who puts a boot through that one high into the sky and back to the Chico State side of the pitch. Silvetti alongside Krubel Tesfaye, a couple of sophomores who showed themselves to be one of the best defensive pairings in the conference last year. 2 physically imposing defenders, no-nonsense players who are also comfortable with the ball at their feet. Vikings like to build out of the back. Tesfaye tries to do that right here, handing it off to Hakamata. Hakamata, a do-it-all midfielder, crucial to the way this team plays, is taken down there is Bunnell. Bunnell, the senior striker, earns the Vikings a free kick in a dangerous spot, and it's all the more dangerous with the dead ball specialist the Vikings have at their disposal. Quao Serrano, who in non-conference play last year scored one of the best free kicks you'll ever see. I was in a game against Regis, and this is a similar distance to that one. Caden Wall, who has also been a free kick specialist for Western Washington, standing over it. So a right foot and a left foot option, a four-man wall for Chico State, set up by the All-American Emmanuel Padilla in goal, and it's off the wall. Back to Serrano, lifts it far side of the box. Silvetti clips it into the middle. Janssen's waiting. It doesn't get there, though. Cleared out to the top, controlled by Josh Mall. Can't maintain possession, though. Silvetti takes it right back, gets it to Caden Wall, near side now. Vikings looking to spread things out. A couple of very dangerous wing options the Vikings have. Andrew Roeder is going to have overlapping runs playing in the left fullback position right now. That one's lifted over the top for Bunnell, fighting for control, and Padilla is there first. An uncharacteristic mistake at the feet there from Padilla. Padilla, who was an All-American selection in his first Division II season last year. An excellent distributor, sweeper keeper, really the archetype of the modern elite goalkeeper, able to build out of the back through him, clear long balls played over the top, and make quick reaction saves up close. He did a little bit of everything for the Wildcats last year as part of a defense which only allowed just over half a goal per game. This is a team that did not concede until the 6th match of 2023. Foul right at the midfield line. The Wildcats, the beneficiaries of it. Wildcats fans traveling well. Number of red shirts in the crowd here at Harrington Field. Far side, the winger is Silas Sells. Whips it into the middle. Dyer controls. Trying to get there was Josh Mall, but couldn't get over Dyer. Tidblom plays it up towards the midfield, controlled by Bunnell. And laid off to Wall, but sent out of bounds first by Elijah Beverly. Chico State, a team that only lost one game in the regular season last year, and that was to number 8 nationally ranked Cal State LA. A team that the Vikings will see next week, Thursday. A brutal early season schedule for Western Washington. Long ball played by Tidblom. No one to run onto it. Quao is far behind, and Padilla will control that easily. Wildcats allowed just 0.6 goals against per game. They had 9 shutouts, did not allow more than 2 goals a single time. The Vikings are going to have to take every opportunity they can and defend with everything they've got to try to get an upset result here against a ranked team. Ball over the top, Bunnell half-heartedly running onto that one. Padilla is there easily to clear it away. Those balls over the top are what the Vikings love to play through, especially with speedy attackers like Albin Janssen and physical target men like Eric Bunnell, but Padilla is going to make that an issue. Attempted backheel flick by Bunnell doesn't work out, but Janssen picks it up in the end. Drives it towards the end line, cuts it back now. Sends it into the middle on the turf, and it's cleared away. You got to say, so far, Vikings have dictated play. More possession of the ball in the attacking third, although there has been a couple of dangerous opportunities for the Wildcats. The story in this matchup last year down in Chico, the Wildcats just outplayed the Vikings strongly for the first 15 minutes. They took a 2-goal lead within 14 and did not relinquish it, a 2-0 win for Chico State. Vikings head coach Greg Brisbane said after the game that those 15 minutes were the death of the team. They really played well for the rest of the match, but couldn't get over the hump after putting themselves in a deficit. So far, the Vikings have matched the Wildcats' intensity to start things off here, just about 8 minutes into this one. Tidblom plays it back to his goalkeeper. Dyer boots it downfield. Funnel up for the header. Doesn't win it. Controlled by the captain, Maul. And up ahead to Beverly and sent out of bounds by Caden Wall. Wall, a senior in a very experienced Vikings midfield. Alongside senior Aiden Fernandez, providing support on the wing. The senior Andrew Roeder and Lucas Hakamada, the box-to-box midfielder, also a senior. Some crucial players in their last collegiate season for Western Washington, but an exciting young crop of talent, especially at the defensive end with Tesfaye and Silvetti. Alvin Janssen making the run. Tidblom tries to find him in a foot race with Maul. Janssen gets there first, goes down, no whistle. Head referee John Snyder says play on. Janssen was definitely looking for the contact there. It didn't seem like too difficult of a decision for Snyder. Janssen, a player who started off his collegiate career at an elite level, the GNAC Freshman of the Year a couple years back in 2022, led the GNAC in scoring. In 2023, he scored 5 goals in the first 6 games of the year, but as soon as conference play started, he slowed down, didn't score once in GNAC play. So for Janssen, this is a career-long goalless streak. 12 straight games for the junior winger from Skellefteå, Sweden. Sebastiano Silvetti tugging at the jersey of Josh Maul, and it draws a whistle. Vikings showing they're not afraid to play physically here early on against a team that many would say are favored in this matchup. Ball played out wide. Manriquez on the wing. Lifts in an early cross. Easy pickings for Dyer. And they'll play out of the back through Silvetti. Up to Wall. Immediate press from Chico State. Vikings have done well to work through it thus far. Only shot of the game coming for the hosts. Albin Janssen just dying to break out of this goalless streak. And that's a whiff by Sebastiano Silvetti, and Dyer's quick to react and spare the blushes of his center back. Uncharacteristic there. Silvetti so sure-footed, playing out of the back and clearing danger. A no-nonsense center back, and that time just not making contact. Chico State on the attack again, no telling. Sliding in is Silvetti coming out of his center back role. Vikings trying to play quickly ahead. A good pass finds Roeder. Bundles in the middle. Roeder working against Zarate, cuts it into the box. Fakes the shot on his left foot. Blocked into the middle. Serrano, no. Wow, just missed it. Best opportunity of the match so far. Clean contact, just trailing off the toe and far left. Wow, will want that one back. Serrano, a player who was an all-GNAC selection in his debut season last year, a Division I transfer from Illinois State. Product of the Seattle Sounders Academy. He's looking to have a big breakout season. Certainly a player who's shown the potential to be one of the best midfielders in the conference, if not in the region. Silvetti way out of position fighting for that, and he commits another foul. Silvetti has definitely been physical with the Wildcats so far. That must be 3 or 4 times Snyder has to blow the whistle on him. No card brandished, though. 13 minutes into this game. All 3 shots of the match have come for Western Washington. They've had the bulk of the opportunities. As we were saying before, this was a pattern we saw in 2023. Vikings would control the shot chart and seem to control possession as well, but just not able to score with enough consistency to back up an excellent defense and put wins up 6 draws, a program record in a single season. Roeder drives past 1, tries to get past 2, but Dawson White denies him, and it ends up going off of Roeder in the end, a Chico State throw-in. Silvetti plays it to Wall, and last man back is the captain, Joar Tidblom. Tidblom out of Norrköping, Sweden, one of 2 Swedes who have found a consistent place in head coach Greg Brisbane's starting lineup here in Bellingham. Tidblom tries to find Janssen there, as he has a couple times already in this match, but that one overhit and into the hands of Padilla. Bunnell applying pressure to Padilla, calmly plays it to the opposite side. Padilla praised last year for not only the accuracy of his distribution, but the fact that he has got a rocket for a left foot. He can send that ball far beyond midfield. Picked up an assist in Chico State's season opener in 2023. That was against fellow GNAC opponent Seattle Pacific. Ball played ahead. Beverly tries to get it back. Passes a little mishit, but Hoteling's able to pick it up. Benjamin Ralph cut out by Janssen there. Janssen came into college as a striker, but has been pushed more to the wing fullback position after that cold streak in front of net last year. And right now that seems to be Greg Brisbane's plan for the Swede. Certainly provides pace on the wing, danger in the counterattack. It seemed like when Janssen got cold last year, the Vikings weren't really sure where the goals were supposed to come from. It dried up once GNAC play started. Certainly doesn't get any easier for them against Chico State team, which was one of the best defenses in the nation last year, a team which got up to number 2 in the national rankings. That was after they went 13 games undefeated to start the year. Hakamada plays it to Quao. Trying to get it into the middle. Aiden Fernandez is there, but the center back gets there first. Fernandez still battling for it, and he ends up drawing a foul. Defending party was Carson Zarate, the junior out of Gilroy, California. And another dangerous free kick here. Serrano and Wall standing over this. This is the kind of distance where you wouldn't be shocked to see them try for goal. Padilla certainly has to give them the respect that they can try to curl it into that corner, but also whip it into the box. Some dangerous aerial threats like Joar Tidblom and Eric Bunnell in there. And, of course, the 6'5" frame of Sebastiano Silvetti at the ready. Wall runs over it. Quao on the ground to the top. The shot is up high. Aiden Fernandez. It was a well-worked routine there to get the senior a chance at goal, but leaning back sends it over the crossbar. Padilla tries to play quickly, but sends it right to Tesfaye, who gets it back to Fernandez. Quao. Couple feet of space. Plays it off to Bunnell, back to goal. 3 defenders around him, and he can't maintain possession. Taken away from him by Preston Mall. Manriquez sends it ahead. Physical battle between Josh Mall and Joar Tidblom, and it's going to be a foul on Tidblom. Play is stopped. Clock's turned off, and that is going to be a yellow card for the captain, Joar Tidblom. First card of the match, brandished by head referee John Snyder. Josh Mall still down on the ground. Josh and Preston Mall, the brothers out of Cameron Park, California, Vista del Lago High School graduates. Both playing important roles on an elite Division II program in Chico State. Wildcats making it to the postseason for the NCAA postseason last year for the first time since 2018. And that loss in Pueblo against CSU Pueblo, a 2-1 overtime defeat. And to just talk a little bit about how competitive their conference, the CCAA, is. Despite being ranked number 18 in the national rankings, they are third in the preseason rankings of the CCAA behind Cal Poly Pomona and Cal State LA, who are both top 10 teams coming into 2024. Cal State LA, the winners of 3 straight CCAA tournament titles and last year's regular season champs, who the Vikings will face next week. The Golden Eagles, sure to be another tough matchup. Miles Rice will come in to replace Josh Mall out with an injury. Rice, the 6-foot senior forward, also out of Cameron Park, California, Ponderosa High School graduate. Rice scored in the season opener in 2023 for Chico State. That was the goal that was assisted by the goalkeeper, Padilla. Preston Mall sends that one in, and it's cleared away after the header from Wall. Fernandez, no nonsense, gets it out of there. Benjamin Ralph on the ball, sliding in as Fernandez. Pass gets by him, though. Grubel Tesfaye one-on-one on the far side with Silas Sells. Pace towards the end line. Tesfaye gets a foot in, though. Very well done. The sophomore from Seattle. Tesfaye involved yet again and gets it away once again. We've already seen on multiple occasions Tesfaye and Silvetti's ability to clear away danger before it even gets to the goal of Charlie Dyer. No shots so far for Chico State. Team that outshot their opponents last season. The foul is going to be called there against Chico State. A little too much bustling against Grubel Tesfaye. The Vikings will reset in their own half. The substitute Miles Rice is very accustomed to playing and scoring against GNAC opponents. He had a goal and an assist in the game the Vikings and Wildcats played last year, both in the first 14 minutes. Andrew Roeder, trailblazing ahead, goes down. He's fouled. It looks like it's going to be a yellow card for bringing Roeder down on a dangerous run, and no argument at all from the defender. Roeder was certainly with a burst of pace into a dangerous spot, and it was denied by the foul. I believe that was Jacob Bernison on the foul there. And the second yellow card of the match. Another free kick for the Vikings, this time just one player over it, Caden Wall alone. As they want the danger of Klaus Serrano in the box for this one. If the ball gets to the deck, he can certainly finish it. Wall lofts it, far post, up for the header and sent away by Bernison. That'll be a Vikings corner kick. Seen plenty of free kicks whipped in, but not a whole lot of corner kicks so far in this one. Vikings able to start that off now. In a game where the opponent is favored, you really have to be able to take advantage of the set-piece opportunities. Vikings have certainly been granted a handful of those. Over on corner duties is Caden Wall and Klaus Serrano there as a short option. 2 defenders short to defend if it's just rolled to Quao. But Wall sends this one all the way into the center of the box. Tidblom got a touch to it, but not a dangerous one. Fernandez gathers, plays it into Quao. Cheeky pass to Caden Wall into the middle. Top of the box. Silvetti tried to get there, but it was cleared at the last by Sells. Just about 20 minutes gone in this one. Shots are 4-0 in favor of Western Washington. Most dangerous opportunity of the match was Quao Serrano's shot from the center of the box, which sailed wide left. Both teams still settling into it. Long ball played ahead for Janssen to run onto. He gets to it, stops it before the end line, tries to lay it off for Serrano, but a misguided pass. Beverly can't get a clean touch ahead. Silvetti cleans up. Akamoto acts as that joint piece between defense and attack so often for the Vikings. Tesfaye, long diagonal ball, looking for Janssen. It's a good idea, but getting there just in time was Manriquez, who now clears it out for a Vikings throw. Vikings once again build out from the back. Taken away by Chico State near the midfield. Sells running with it. 3 defenders around him. Pressured by Fernandez and Hakamada. Hakamada gets a foot in. And Sells lets it go out for a Wildcat throw-in. We're going to have our second substitutions of the match. First non-injury substitutions. Manriquez is exiting the game. Alongside Preston Mall. Will be replaced by Robert Lloyd and Justin Ricketts. Lloyd, the midfielder, sophomore out of Lincoln, California. Justin Ricketts, the defender, junior out of Oceanside. Throw in towards Chico State player, but cleared away. Also into the match. Looks like that's number 9, Vasilios Sirigelis. Senior out of El Centro, California, wearing the number 9 shirt at the top of the Wildcat formation right now. So changes up top. Rice, who did not start this match, alongside Sirigelis. And now Robert Lord as well on the wing. Chico, who hasn't been able to get anything going offensively. Hope a change of face can change their fortunes. Tesfaye says no sir right there. Clears it past midfield, but a sustained period of possession here for the Wildcats. That one just came up and clipped the hand of Miles Rice. Easy call for the referee. Vikings a chance to try to reset the momentum with a free kick. Hakamada plays it to Tesfaye. Long ball ahead. Vikings have been relying on those balls from the center back pairing of Silvetti and Tesfaye to try to find players ahead. Tidblom sent up a few himself. Hasn't worked out so far. Eric Bunnell, the central forward, a strong target man player, though. And the pacey winger, Andrew Roeder, is not able to get to that one. Roeder, a senior, and now the only Roeder on the team. Was joined in the last 2 seasons by his brother Ryan. But Andrew looking to cement himself as one of the most dangerous creative wingers in the GNAC here as a senior. Has been one of the best goal producers for the Vikings over the last couple of years. And the goals went a little bit dry for him last year, but the same can be said for just about every part of that Vikings team last year. Still picked up all GNAC honorable mention honors, scoring twice and assisting once. Wow. Tries to find Bunnell, turns with it, back to the defender. Well done, using the body to get some space. Bursts ahead, now plays it back to Roeder. Bunnell goes down, no whistle. And Bunnell does not agree with the referee's call on that one, but Chico State will take the ball back. Tidblom doesn't get a clean connection on the header. Miles Rice tries to keep it in bounds, does in a battle with Caden Wall, earns a throw-in, and we're going to have some more substitutions here. And this time it will be for the hosts. And excuse me, it's going to be stopped here as it is a Chico State throw-in. Western not allowed to make a substitution until it is their own goal kick or their own throw-in. New substitution rules in NCAA this year. It's become all the more complicated. Caden Wall plays it up to Bunnell. A nice first touch to control it. Vikings trying to build up in the counterattack. That passes behind Andrew Roeder. Has to stop up and get it back to Tesfaye. Hakamada providing an option, but Tesfaye plays it long instead. Bunnell sends it out of bounds for a Chico State throw. 25 minutes gone. Best opportunity of the match. Still the Quao Serrano miss. Chico State yet to put a shot up on the board. If you're Greg Brisbane, you have to be happy with how the Vikings have handled the number 18 Wildcats so far in this half, but As long as there's no points up on the board, doesn't matter all too much. But certainly proving they can hang with an elite team here in non-conference play. And the way the GNAC is structured in men's soccer, it is so difficult to make it out of the regular season, with most of the at-large tournament berths in the West region going to Pac West and CCAA teams. As a GNAC team, you really have to win the GNAC to make it to the postseason. No GNAC tournament in men's soccer, so just got to scrap it out for a short regular season, finish on top, and that's a tall task with two teams ahead of the Vikings in the preseason rankings, and Simon Fraser, who won the conference last year, and Western Oregon, who have had a really meteoric rise after starting their men's soccer program just a couple years back, starting out as bottom dwellers in the GNAC for their first season, but immediately ascending to contenders in season number 2. And now the Vikings finally will be able to get their subs in. Albin Janssen will leave the field, replaced by the senior Jacob Sundberg, who will come into that fullback role. Aiden Fernandez and Eric Bunnell leave the pitch, replaced by striker Diego Alvarado and another striker in Frank Miedema. Miedema, the striker out of Corvallis, Oregon, and Diego Alvarado, an experienced midfielder out of Sunnyside, Washington, who likes to get up in the attack as well. Header finds its way back to Charlie Dyer. Alvarado, who scored in his last game here at Harrington Field. That was in that upset against Simon Fraser on senior night in 2023. And that was his first WWU goal. Alvarado, a sixth-year program, sixth-year player, and Western Washington is the 4th program of his collegiate career. Miedema slides in, gets it to Quao, taken back by Miedema. Hakamada looked at Sundberg's run for a second, but he stopped it up. Alvarado, pass is deflected, but still gets to the feet of Miedema. Vikings once again building on this near side with Tidblom. Looking ahead, Miedema's making the run, but he plays it short instead to the near touchline. Alvarado back to midfield. Chico State getting their first shot of the game on the board. Did not trouble Dyer. Still solid defense so far from Western Washington, something we've seen year in, year out by Greg Brisbane's squads. Sundberg puts it into the middle. Alvarado is shot and saved by Padilla, and he collects the rebound. And Padilla wants a card for Miedema diving in there to try to get to the rebound. It's not going to happen. First action for the All-American, and he comes through with a save diving low to his left. Alvarado wasn't able to put it too far away from him, but still a solid reaction save. The first shot on goal for Western Washington off some good buildup. Chico State head coach Filippo Restrepo kind of want a little more out of your team right now, kind of letting the Vikings control the pace of this one for the majority of it so far. Now 30 minutes gone in the half. A team that was so used to dominance in 2023. First 5 games of 2023 for the Wildcats, their non-conference schedule. 5 wins, 5 shutouts. They averaged 3 goals per game during that time. They beat 4 GNAC teams. Roeder goes down, draws the foul. The whistle is against Robert Lloyd. Now it's going to have to be a good effort to get by the mitts of Emmanuel Padilla. Now in his senior season, his second as a Wildcat, the CCAA Goalkeeper of the Year. All-West Region first team, All-American third team. Only allowed 13 goals in 2023 through 20 games. He had 2 saves in the game against the Vikings last year, a game in which Western and Chico State were even on shots, but Chico State had more on goal and, of course, more in the back of the net. Minima charging ahead, uses the body to get to that one. Sundberg on it now, plays it in the middle just beyond the feet of Quao. The opportunity goes a-begging there off just what turned out to be a routine pass that was misplaced. It's that kind of incisive ball the Vikings were lacking a lot of last season. That one over the top finds Andrew Roeder from the feet of Tidblom. Roeder looking for options, lays it off to Alvarado. A step over and an early cross in. A well-worked one as well. Dangerous with 2 Vikings there waiting, but Minima wasn't able to get ahead to it. It was well cleared away. In the end, I believe that was Carson Zarate getting ahead to it. Vikings looks like they're going to switch down to this near side once again. A lot of this buildup has come through Tidblom. Now they do switch to the opposite side. Ball over the top, looking for Sundberg. It's well weighted. Sundberg's cross into the middle, though, is right at Carson Zarate. Making the run on the far side. A dangerous one is Robert Lloyd. The ball over the top finds him, controlled with the chest. Tidblom steps in and draws the foul. Very well done by the junior and captain, Joar Tidblom, to stop a dangerous run by Robert Lloyd. Textbook defending right there, getting the body between the attacker and the ball, and going down when he felt the contact. Beautiful sunny hot day here in Bellingham, Washington, south side campus of Western Washington University. Crowd filling out here at Harrington Field, as it will continue to be filled out through this doubleheader with the women playing at 7 o'clock. Western Washington volleyball also starting their season off this weekend. Myself alongside Zen Hill will be on the calls between the multitude of home games that are going to be happening this weekend between Carver Gym and Harrington Field. Very excited to be back in 2024. Me, Adam Race, of course, an honor as always to be your voice of Viking soccer for the 3rd season. That one's headed back to Padilla by Dylan Hunter. Hunter, the defender, a junior out of Gilbert, Arizona, transfer from Yavapai College, entering the match. And a long ball once again headed away by Tidblom. Second ball sent back forward. Rice on it, driving forward himself, tries to play a little 1-2 there. The pass in the end wasn't on the mark, but a foul committed by Hakamata on the slide stops Chico State from trying to play quickly. As Preston Mall plays it right into Hakamata's feet and asks for a yellow card. That's one of those rules where technically you're not supposed to crowd the ball on a dead ball opportunity, but you rarely actually see a yellow card brandished in those situations. It's kind of just become routine that a player goes up and stands in front of that right after the whistle. Dyer directing a 2-man wall of Alvarado and Hakamata. Preston Mall stands over the free kick. Lifts it to the far post. Dangerous ball headed to the opposite post, but not able to get there as Miles Rice. The ball was behind him, and Joar Tidblom gets it out to the corner. Alvarado to Roeder. And Dyer has to collect. Coming in there was the striker, and he wanted a penalty shout there. That was Vasilio Sirengelis, who it didn't seem like Dyer was expecting to come in there at the last minute. Went down, didn't complain when the whistle didn't go, though. Ten minutes remaining here in the first half of play. The first 45 of 2024. Ball, the All-American, plays it back to Hunter. Long ball up ahead. Robert Lloyd gets on the end of it. Lifts it far post. Dyer watches it go by. Chasing after it is Ricketts. It's back in the middle. And Krubel Tesfaye, falling backwards, is able to boot it out. But the pressure continues here for Chico State. That shot is blocked away by Sebastiano Silvetti. The shot came from Miles Rice, who's been a Viking slayer as of late with the goal and the assist last year. Wall, light touch, tries to get it to Quao, just a little bit beyond him. Chico State switch play to the near side. Good string of possession here for the Wildcats after the Vikings were able to get their first shot on goal of the match from Alvarado. Lifted head towards Lloyd and laid off to Rice. Nice move to get around Hakamata and lays it off for Maul. The captain on the wing, defended by Roeder. Looking to cut his way back towards the end line. Roeder doing very well in defense right there, and it'll be a Chico State throw-in and substitutions as well for the visitors, as well as for the hosts. And making his regular season debut for Western Washington is Riley Biorai Brown. The freshman, the Bellingham native, went to high school just down the road at Seaholm. A legend of men's soccer over at Seaholm High School. Comes in for the first time in regular season play. He was a very good showing in preseason. Looked confident and mature on the ball, especially for a freshman. I'm expecting him to have a really productive freshman year here in a holding midfielder role. Ball's lifted straight up in the air, and Charlie Dyer goes up to collect. Also onto the pitch for the Vikings is Lucas Whithauer, the redshirt freshman making his Western Washington debut. Regular season debut, the Vancouver, Washington native, pacey winger, getting his first touch on the ball here. Fakes and drives towards the end line, looking for a little bit of space to get the cross, and he does. Miedema's on the end of it, and it was deflected, and it's going to be a foul on Miedema. Padilla, a little shove on him in the end. And it looks like that hurt the defender that Miedema made contact with, and the referee Sander just having a conversation with him. That's a couple times now that Miedema has certainly gone in confidently and put a defender on the wrong end of a boot. Definitely showing hustle. Miedema, who scored in preseason against Trinity Western in what turned out to be a 2-1 Vikings victory. And that's a tough challenge there, finding the foot of Joar Tidblom. And the yellow card's going to be issued here. The substitute, Philip Rico, just moments after coming on, goes in the referee's book. He does not look happy about it either. Not the start you want in this match into the season for Rico. Tidblom gets back up to his feet with no problem. So players on both ends getting some spikes. It's been a chippy game so far. Referee going to his pocket a number of times. And Rico, he's going to come straight off the field and look straight to the ground. That is not a good feeling for Rico as he comes off moments after entering the game. Jack Shane replaces him. The forward, sophomore out of Rancho Santa Margarita. Lucas Hakamata back to goal. Hands it off to Sundberg. Gets it to Alvarado. Not a lot of space to work, but he finds Hakamata. Plays it back. Uri Brown fakes around one defender, lays it back to Hakamata. Space to put the cross in. He does. Sundberg's in the middle. Couldn't get the height on it. Could not rise to meet that cross. He was wide open. The ball was just a little too lofted for him. Chico State's counterattacking is slowed down by that Silvetti clearance away. First touches on the ball by Burai Brown, immediately showing why he had such a successful career at Seaholm High School, helping the team that ended up being one of the best in the state last year. Always good to see players graduate from Seaholm and come right down the road, the Mariner to Viking pipeline, staying strong with Burai Brown, who has multiple family members who have played here at Western. It's in his blood. Burai Brown lifts it ahead. Minema flicks it on. Alvarado gets on the end of it. Minema's in the middle, joined by Hakamata. Whithauer's the short option. Step overs from Alvarado. Sends it in. Far post. Burai Brown charging in. Just a step too late. Gets to it in the end, though. And it's put out of the box. Turning and sending it ahead is Jack Shane. Chico State, a little bit of space here, but a lot of Vikings getting back, and that is going to be a foul on Tesfaye. On the wrong end of it was Owen Vasta, the substitute. Bit of a tactical foul there from Tesfaye, stopping the quick counter. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Shots are 5-2 in favor of the Vikings. Only save of the match has come from Manuel Padilla. Mole up to Shane, now lays it off to Robert Lloyd. Shane can't recollect, Silvetti got a foot in. Minema, aggressive once again, wins the ball back. Alvarado. Tidblom sends it long, nobody there in the end. Easily played by Dylan Hunter, back to Padilla. Chico State, number 18 in the country. Simon Fraser University, when they were defeated senior night last year, were number 20 in the country. Vikings have proved that they can play up to their opponents. It's just putting that effort in consistently that they've been lacking. After a 2022 season where they set a program record for undefeated starts to a season, one of the best years we've seen from the Vikings men's team in recent years, but just falling short in a highly competitive GNAC. Last time they were in the NCAA tournament was back in 2019. Longtime head coach Greg Brisbane fighting to get the blue and white back in the postseason, trying to match the accolades of the Western Washington women, two-time national champs in 2016 and 2022. Under another long-tenured legendary coach and Travis Cannell. Tradition of this program to have these coaches serve 15, 20 years, long strings of success, something definitely the school can pride themselves on. See it across the board in just about every sport. Clock is stopped. Brisbane, the head coach in his 12th season at the helm of the Vikings, but he's been involved in the program for long before that. Previous player at Seattle Pacific University, the Vikings' arch rivals. That pass gets all the way through. Doing the shielding was Tesfaye, so the through ball ends up in the feet of goalkeeper Charlie Dyer. Dyer, the Division I transfer from San Jose State, previous West Seattle High School star. Coming back to his home state here as a sophomore after making just 2 appearances last year for the Spartans. It looks like Minema and Wall got in each other's way there. Both went to ground. 1.5 remaining in the first. Robert Lloyd, 3 defenders around him, can't find a clean pass. That one popped up off the hand of Joar Tidblom. No argument from him. Long ball played ahead by Mall. Headed away by Silvetti. Sebastiano Silvetti, standout defender, international player out of Bergamo, Italy. Experience in high-level academies such as the Inter Milan Academy. And has shown why. Tall frame, moves quickly, moves effectively, and very reliable.
1 minute remaining in the first half.
Redshirt freshman who was named to the GNAC first team for all conference. That long ball over the top by Caden Walls, too heavy. Hakamata is able to keep it in bounds, though. Looks like a couple of the players on the pitch gave up on that ball, but not Hakamata. His cross is blocked. Top of the box. Wall slides in, but it might end up as a pseudo through ball. It is taken away here. Sirigelis ahead, but he can't find the opposite run of Robert Lloyd, and Tesfaye takes it back. 30 seconds left. Maybe one last attack left in the half here. Whithauer looks upfield, crosses the halfway line, plays it ahead for Miedema, putting everything he's got into this sprint, trying to keep it in. He does on the turf in the middle, easily picked up. Chico State are not going to be able to do anything the other way, and the seconds will tick off the clock here in the first half.
3, 2, 1.
That'll do it for the first 45. The score is still knotted up at 0. Vikings 5-2 advantage in shots, and the two best opportunities of the match off the feet of Klaus Serrano and Alvarado, but unable to put the ball in the back of the net for either of these teams. We'll be back in just about 15 minutes for the second half of action here. The Vikings try to hold on and get a lead, and Chico State try to put their best foot forward here in 2024. Welcome back in here to Harrington Field. 0-0 is the score after the first 45 minutes between Western Washington University and Chico State Wildcats. says he wasn't given any options. Was forced to just clear the danger. Referee telling Jacob Sundberg he's got to take that throw in a little farther back. Excuse me, it'll be Krubel Tesfaye on the throw. Has been the long throw specialist for a lot of this season and last season. Silvetti and Tesfaye play it back and forth. One of the best center back pairings in the region in 2023. Ball ahead to Sundberg, headed back to Wall. Wall looks ahead for an early cross, now looks back towards midfield. Ball ahead to Wall. Making the run down the wing is Alvarado. Sliding in is Zarate, but Alvarado still gets there and gets the throw in. Sundberg wearing the captain's armband, senior from California. Vikings, a largely Washingtonian team, a few internationals as well. And for Chico State, vast majority Californian, but a couple of players hailing from the Evergreen State. Freshman goalkeeper Weston Joyner out of Mukilteo, Washington, just an hour drive down South I-5 from Bellingham. And Liam Miller, number 23, a defender, a sophomore out of Tacoma, Washington, graduate of Stadium High School, both on this Chico State roster. Playing in their home state here to open up the season. Games will also be played by the Wildcats in non-conference play against St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific, so getting a tour of the GNAC, essentially, teams that went down to California to face the Wildcats in 2023. Chico State forging ahead into the attacking third here. They have a throw-in. It's given off to Justin Ricketts. Ricketts, who was a first-half substitution, now stays on the pitch. Klaus Rano in a tight spot. Plays it off to Sundberg, taken back by Ricketts. Played into the middle, dangerous ball. A shot is saved by Dyer. Charlie Dyer called into action for the first time as a Viking, and he comes through for the save right down below him. But the best opportunity of the match so far for Chico State, Brian Manriquez wasn't able to finish it off. Dyer, who was Conference Goalkeeper of the Year in his high school days over in West Seattle, went D1 at San Jose State. Vikings, who have had so much success at the goalkeeper position over the last couple of years. Brandon Locke, graduating at the end of last year, statistically one of the best goalkeepers in program history when you look at goals against average and shutouts. And Patrick Reston, the year before that, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2022 for the Vikings. So Dyer trying to continue that legacy. Janssen whips one into the box, gets over the first defender, but can't get all the way to the waiting attacker who was Quao. Alvarado, two defenders ahead of him, trying to get through. He does find space into the box. Low-driven shot. Padilla bats it away. Second shot on goal for Alvarado. Second time Padilla has denied him. A good save on a shot that was looking low near post. Vikings will have a corner kick. And all of a sudden, back-to-back shots on goal for these two teams who were struggling to find clear-cut chances in the first 45. They've equaled their number in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Wall plays it short to Quao, back to Wall, puts the cross in. Up for it is Janssen. His header is blocked, and Tidblom goes to ground. A shot coming from Krubel Tesfaye, turning around and just over the bar. Padilla, well watched. Looks like he had it covered, and now down to ground is Joar Tidblom. Seemed to get a little tied up on the shot attempt. Went down awkwardly, but he's back up to his feet. He's taken a couple of knocks in this game, but the captain of this team for today and a very hard worker, getting back and playing through it. So a couple of back-to-back opportunities. Janssen's header was blocked away. And then the defender, Tesfaye, trying to steal a goal off of a bouncing ball, but can't put it on frame. Vikings have been close to their first tally of 2024. What a team it would be to get it against, a team that was one of the best defensively in Division II last year and still boast a All-American goalkeeper in Padilla. But he has shown that pedigree so far. Padilla, the JUCO transfer. Played 2 seasons with Santa Rosa Junior College and was in JUCO one of the best goalkeepers in the country as well. First team All-American in 2021. Immediately making the step up to D2 and showing why he deserved it. Chico State looking to answer the pressure the Vikings have put on the last couple minutes. Miles Rice with it. Alvarado gets it to Buttle. Chance to break the other way here. Alvarado joined by Quao. It's played to Alvarado on the far side. Sprinting down the wing. Stops up now. Looks at his options. 4 blue shirts now trailing into the middle. It's played back to Janssen. Uses the pace to get ahead. Sliding tackle. Janssen maintains possession, and he is unable to play that off the defender, Dylan Hunter, which I believe was his intention on that turning cross. Instead, just sends it out for a Chico State goal kick. Janssen, who played the start of his career as a central striker, making his living mostly running on to long balls played over the top and doing it very well. A clinical finisher and one of the fastest players on any pitch that he steps onto. Maybe still adjusting to that wing role. Be the provider more than the finisher, as Quao is down on the ground holding his shoulder in some pain. Looks like the referee is looking for an opportunity to stop play, and he does now. Quao Serrano, Viking star midfielder, looks to have some discomfort in that left arm. Took a bump on a aerial duel. Chico State taking the opportunity to grab some water, grab some instructions from Felipe Restrepo. Restrepo, who has had such a successful time as the head coach of the Wildcats. Entering now his 18th year, second winningest coach in program history. 165 wins to his name, 13 postseason appearances. And just breaking a little postseason cold streak in 2023. Their first NCAA appearance since 2018. Ball thrown ahead, Miles Rice on it. Plays back. Getting a foot in is Hakamata. Chico State keeps up the pressure, though. Top of the box, Hakamata's there again, showing that high work rate. Such an unsung hero in this squad, does a little bit of everything. Chico State calls for a handball, but it's waved off by Snyder, the referee. And the Vikings maybe looking to break the other way. Buttles in some space. He's onside. He's got room on the far wing. In the middle is Alvarado, followed by Quao. Buttles some step overs at the top corner. Takes a shot right into the arms of Padilla. The third save for him. And that one didn't trouble him too much. Right at him. Buttle, who is used to being that central striker option in the middle, decided to take it himself instead of feed one of the options. He had Quao running to the top of the box and Alvarado at the 6. 15 minutes just about gone here. Much more lively start to this second half than we saw in the first. Teams clearly not satisfied with a draw, fighting for a W in Game 1 of 2024. Chico State, I'm sure a team coming into this one expecting a win after handling the Vikings last year in Chico. Last time these two teams played at Harrington Field, though, in 2022, it was the Vikings who came out 1-0 winners. Part of that program record unbeaten run to start the season. Running onto this one is Manriquez. He's not going to get there. Out for a throw, and we will have substitutions now for the Vikings. Substitutions for both teams. The co-captain Sundberg goes to the bench. And he'll be replaced by Andrew Roeder. Chico State, a trio of subs. Robert Lloyd re-enters the match alongside Carlos Zuniga and Silas Sells. So once again, the Wildcats rotating that attacking line. They've been pretty consistent when it's come to that defense, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the attack has not been able to find a way through Western Washington's lines so far in this one. They have forced a save out of Dyer, just the one. Manriquez trying to get around a couple defenders. He earns the throw in off of Quao. Thrown right back into Manriquez. Hakamada's there to answer the call. Deflects the attempted cross, and it'll be a corner kick for Chico State. First corner of the game for the Wildcats. Vikings have had 2. It's going to be an out-swinging corner on the far side. Sent in low. Can't find a white shirt, played out by Bunnell to the feet of Roeder. Bunnell sprinting out, try to provide a counterattacking option to Roeder, opts to slow things down instead. Long ball ahead by Hakamada is going to earn the Vikings a throw in. And we're going to have a couple more changes. Western Washington, they're about to send on Frank Miedema and Aiden Fernandez. Miedema, who was just running around. Ants were on fire in the first half, crashing into people, trying to get to that ball and send it in. He comes back in trying to re-provide that energy and attack. Eric Bunnell will step off the pitch. Free kick taken quickly to Wall. Tesfaye. Roeder drives infield. Around 2 defenders. Tries to play the 1-2 with Miedema, but a little too much on the return pass. And Fernandez fresh off the bench. Shows the work rate. Benjamin Ralph showing frustration with the fact that there's not enough play going on at the top of the Wildcat formation. The visitors certainly don't want to end up chasing this game, something that they seem to fall into in that first half, have done better in the second period of play. Throw in Chico State, sent right up the line and dealt with by Wall. Fernandez back to Quao. Johnson trying to find space on the opposite side, but it's played near side instead. Alvarado spins his way past one challenge and lays it back off to Quao. He's done very well working around defenders. Vikings have a couple players out there who are elite in working in tight spaces. Quao, of course, among them, one of the most technically gifted players in Division II. Seattle Sounders Academy product. Back heel, cheeky play by Alvarado, back to Quao. Alvarado wants a long shot. It's well driven, but not too difficult to deal with for Padilla. Emmanuel seemed to have seen that all the way. 9th shot for Western Washington. 15 per game last year. Four saves on the board for Padilla, already twice as many as the Vikings forced out of him this time last year down in Chico. Making the turn is Silas Sells. Driving towards the end line, battling with Krubel Tesfaye, and he's just getting muscled off the ball right there, but he still is able to earn a corner kick. Tesfaye and Silvetti, two center backs that are just a nightmare for a small, quick forward because they move so well but still have such a physical presence. You're not going to win those shoulder-to-shoulder battles with them very often, but doing well that time to earn the corner kick for Chico State, their second of the match. It's going to be an in-swinger. sent towards Dyer over his head, and it's left by everybody. Over the head of Tidblom as well, and it'll end up just trickling out for a goal kick. And you see behind the goal, Western Washington women's soccer arriving to the field, getting ready. 2022 national champions looking to bounce back after a disappointing season by their standards. A nice little move by Tesfaye. Olays the defender. And now Tesfaye plays it long. Meet him on the end of it. Continues that aggressive run, and he's going to get some space here. Gets around Zarate, but can't get to the touch that he provided to scoot around the defender, and he'll go out for another goal kick. Certainly seen the willingness out of Frank Miedema, redshirt sophomore. And we've seen his ability to finish in preseason, a really nice one-on-one chipped goal against Trinity Western just a couple weeks ago. Vikings picking up preseason wins against Trinity Western Peninsula and University of British Columbia. And looked pretty convincing in them as well. Of course, everything can change once it becomes the regular season, and Chico State's one of the toughest opponents they're going to face all year. Miedema charging in again there. Reckless abandon. He wanted a foul, didn't get it. It'll be a Chico State throw. Vikings coming into this GNAC season ranked third in the preseason poll, tied for third with arch rivals Seattle Pacific, behind Western Oregon in second and Simon Fraser in first. That mirrors the 2023 end of season rankings. Simon Fraser winning the GNAC and making some noise in the NCAA tournament as well. A really quality squad. Canada's lone NCAA program, making the Great North proud. Tidblom goes to ground. No foul. Referee thought about it, but opts to give the goal kick instead. Now, the Vikings, they saw success in non-conference play last year, especially here at Harrington. They were 2-0 in non-conference home games. There was a couple games against teams from Colorado and Colorado School of Mines and Regis. 3-0 win against Mines, 2-0 against Regis. The Wildcats still sitting at just 3 shots for this game. A testament to the Vikings' midfield and defense, making sure Dyer doesn't even have to do all that much work. He did have to make a quality save earlier on, but this is so fundamental to the way Greg Brisbane's squads have played over the previous years, is just completely control the pace of the game, dictate it, and make sure that to beat you, you got to use every opportunity that you get. Clock will be stopped here for an injury timeout. Tough foul there, I believe, issued by Aiden Fernandez. No card will be issued. And up to his feet and limping a little bit is Brian Manriquez, the senior out of Turlock, California, but looks no worse for wear. Vikings tripling up the Wildcats in shots. Nvidia's been called to action 4 times. Only a couple of those were real dangerous opportunities. Janssen uses the body well, shields off the attacker, and tries to spring it the other way. A little lapse in concentration there from Alvarado. Can Chico State capitalize? Shot with the right foot is saved by Dyer. And Alvarado just looked to go to sleep for a second there. And Silas Sells tried to punish it, laid it off to a waiting attacker. It was Carlos Zuniga, but he couldn't trouble Dyer too much. Makes his second save of the game. That would have been a very disappointing way for Western Washington to concede after doing so well this game to control the pace of play. So we're going to have more substitutions here. The freshman, Riley Burai Brown, is going to re-enter the pitch. He will replace Albin Janssen. So Janssen goes another game without a goal. That makes it 13 unless he is to come back into this game in the final minutes, as Burai Brown's first touch of the second half almost earns a corner kick, but it's kept in bounds. And excuse me, it will be out for a corner, so Burai Brown immediately creating an opportunity for Western Washington. Had an assist on a quality free kick against Trinity Western in preseason. Young man with a lot of potential to not only be a good player, but be a leader on this team. Wall plays it on the ground short. Aiden Fernandez, top of the box, immediately swarmed by defenders. Can't get his shot off. Chance going the other way. Trying to show the pace as Silas Sells. Alvarado shoulder to shoulder with him. He's going to shield him off from going straight to goal, but there's still white shirts in the box. Sells goes down. He draws the free kick on a nice move. A well-executed counterattack, both offensively and defensively, and Sells is able to get the Wildcats a good position here for a free kick, as you can see behind the goal there. MSU Denver, Western Washington's opponent in the 7 o'clock women's game, now arriving. Hope you do stay tuned for that. Support one of the perennial powerhouses in the West region and the Western Washington women. The captain, Preston Mall, stands over this one. Two-man wall. Mall's got a dangerous left foot. He can put this on goal if he wants, and Dyer's certainly aware of that. Ball to take. He does go direct. Dyer collects easily. That was a ball that did a couple of different tasks there. It was on goal, forced a save out of Dyer, but also an on-runner trying to get it as it bounced. A good idea, but doesn't work out. Burai Brown, long ball ahead, waited well for Miedema, turns and gets to it. Goes down, and the whistle goes. And Miedema, after the whistle, he's going to get whistled for lashing out. The initial free kick might have been against him now that I look again. Miedema not complaining at all with the whistles going against him. He knows the way that he's playing is, hard-nosed, aggressive, and it's going to draw some fouls. It seems to not be an issue at all with the Oregonian. 17 minutes remaining in this one. Both teams looking for a breakthrough, looking for the first goal of 2024 at Harrington Field. Manriquez and Lloyd. Lloyd earns a corner kick. Sebastiano Silvetti and Joar Tiblon both unhappy with the call there, but it will be another corner for Chico State. All four of their corners have come here in the second half. It will be the captain Mole over to take the outswinger. 6 white shirts in the box, 1 at the top of the box for the Wildcats. Sent right into the mixer. Silvetti gets there first. Tough to deal with the 6'5" frame of Sebastiano Silvetti on those crosses. A nice ball ahead. Whip to the top. Zarata saved by a block from Krubel Tesfaye. Breaking to that danger immediately was the captain Tidblom, as well as Tesfaye, denying a shot on goal opportunity for Carson Zarate. Burai Brown is able to do enough in that aerial duel for it to easily trickle back to Dyer. Chico State has quickly doubled their shot total over the last 10 or so minutes. Knocking at the door right now. Had some dangerous counterattacks. Sells. Diagonal ball will find its target on the far side, and Robert Lloyd. And Lloyd puts it into the middle, right to the mitts of Dyer, who will slow things down in the distribution. Dyer has done well to control his area. In charge of the 6, collecting crosses and whipped balls in. It was something that was done so well last year by Brandon Locke, who stood at 6'4". Dyer at 6 foot. That foul's going to go against Silvetti. Another good position for a free kick here. See what the Wildcats want to do with it. It'll be a tough angle to shoot, but certainly not out of the question. Caden Wall standing up close to that one, making sure it's not taken quickly. Under 15 minutes remaining. And the way these two defenses have been and were last season, you got to think that one goal should be enough. Mole, another opportunity from a similar spot as just a couple minutes ago. And Mole sends it to the far post. Dangerous ball. Dyer got there somehow. And excuse me, I believe it got through everybody as it signaled for a goal kick. It was put into a perfect spot. Far enough from Dyer for him not to react, but still out of the reach of the defenders. And Chico State will be unhappy that they weren't able to put that on net. Lucas Hakamata re-enters the pitch. Hakamata, who is expected to play a large bulk of minutes this season, as he did last year. Beginning of last year against Chico State, Hakamata played his first full 90. Not quite at that minute level today, but still contributing throughout the match. Wall sends that one into the parking lot. That's a souvenir. Perhaps some tired legs out there. But Chico State seems to be controlling these last 10 or so minutes. Might be the Vikings fighting for a draw if things stay this way. Dyer gets a hand to it but can't control. Sends it out of the box though. A successful punch nonetheless on a well-located cross. That one's easily picked up by Fernandez. Can the Vikings get numbers the other way? Meadham was charging ahead. The ball tried to find him, but in the end that one had no chance of getting to Frank. Lifted over the top, a good ball. Silas Sells running onto it. He's got an opportunity, shoots and saved. Charlie Dyer puts two hands up and sends it away. Sells will be unhappy to not make him work harder than that. Another dangerous opportunity late in this one. Sells showing off the pace on that run, getting past a couple of defenders. But the pressure, shoulder to shoulder, was enough to force him to mishit that one a little bit. Dyer, all of a sudden, he's up to 4 saves. A couple of them have been pretty crucial. Western Washington, a very full goalkeeper room. A lot of talent between the sticks for Western Washington. Dyer winning a goalkeeping battle with Alan Tengi, a French Academy product and previous local star. Henry White, Quinn Sappington, a lot of depth for the Vikings at goalkeeper. And it looks like Albin Janssen will be coming back onto the pitch here. He'll replace Frank Miedema. And for Chico State, coming out of the game is going to be Carlos Zuniga, and coming in will be Miles Rice. Filippo Restrepo opting to put in a player who is experienced against this Vikings squad, experienced with success against this Vikings squad. A goal and an assist in their matchup last year. If he's able to find a goal contribution here, it'll most likely be a winner. So Janssen back onto the pitch, certainly to try to recreate that counter-attacking threat that the Vikings like to work out so well, but Janssen's a huge part of that counter-attacking ability with his pace on the wing. And you could see in a couple of those opportunities that was sorely missed. Janssen ends up getting to that one. Fernandez whiffs on it, but Roeder finishes! Western Washington have a 1-0 lead with 12 minutes left to play. And some shoving in the back at the end of it. Western Washington just over 10 minutes away from what would be a statement win to open up 2024. And it was Andrew Roeder who ended up finishing it off. A scuffle in the box. Just about 6 yards out. He will not miss from that distance. Andrew Roeder opens up the Vikings goal-scoring account in 2024.
Andrew Roeder. Assist to number 7, Albin Johnson.
And Albin Johnson, fresh off the bench, picks up the assist on that one. Aiden Fernandez will also pick up an assist. He missed on his attempted shot, but it ended up being a perfect ball into Roeder. Now, this is a Vikings team that is really difficult to beat at home on its own, but if they score at home, they've won the vast majority of those games. And goal scoring was the issue last year, and you got to think if they're able to get that first goal in these matches and take a lead, that they'll be able to hold on with that elite defense, and that elite defense is going to be put to the test here for the last 11 minutes. They've only allowed 8 shots to Chico State. You love to see Albin Johnson off the bench immediately providing that pace and ability to beat a man on the dribble, get it into the box, and the waiting. Andrew Roeder makes no mistake. Johnson and Roeder have been the 2 biggest attacking threats over the last couple of years for Western Washington, and showing why right there. Vikings looking for not only a statement win, but a statement shutout, something they did with efficiency last year, especially here at home. Only conceded 5 goals in 6 home games in 2023. That included 4 shutouts. Another one here today would mean a victory. Now, the way the Division II schedule is structured, these non-conference games end up going to the back of the mind a little bit once conference season starts. That's your main route to the postseason as a GNAC team, is winning the GNAC. But to show you can go out against a ranked team and earn a result, it's got to be huge for a team with something to prove. Foul is called on the near side, right by the touchline. Under 10 minutes remaining now. The Vikings will be looking to that combination of Johnson and Roeder all season. Worked so well back in 2022 in Albin Johnson's Freshman of the Year season. So much danger on each wing, especially when you have the distribution of players like Klaus Serrano and Aiden Fernandez, who's really found a good spot in Greg Brisbane's squad, the Whatcom Community College transfer. In his 2nd year in blue and white. Johnson now back in defense, gets a piece of that one on the back line. Collected by Chico State. Miles Rice on it. Plays a pass straight to Klaus Serrano, puts a boot through it. Didn't make the connection he wanted. Vikings might be in clear it out mode right now. No nonsense. Make sure the danger gets out of there and hold on. They don't need a second goal in this match. So of course, they'd like it, but you look at this formation right now. Roeder is the only player threatening to counterattack. A bank of 4, a bank of 5, and Roeder alone at the top of the formation. Vikings throwing everything in front of Charlie Dyer, trying to hold on to this one and get him his first collegiate shutout. Jacob Sundberg re-enters the pitch for Western Washington, and Chico State trying to get some more firepower on the pitch with Elijah Beverly. Beverly, a Division I transfer from St. Mary's. Couple of St. Mary's transfers on the pitch now, and Andrew Roeder and Elijah Beverly. Throw-in gets all the way to the end line, and it's going to end up as a goal kick. Chico State They're throwing the ball to the corner here. And it looks like it is going to be a corner kick. I thought for sure the referee signaled towards a goal kick, but it will be a corner on the far side, taken by Brian Manriquez. 7 minutes remaining in this match. Tension in the stands and on the pitch. Chico State trying to break through, flicked on towards the middle. And it's cleared all the way out. Beverly wasn't able to get a shot at the end of it. Padilla, the sweeper keeper, playing all the way up towards midfield right now. Uri Brown heads it away. Fernandez skips around one defender, trying to use the pace, sliding in. That's a tough collision right there. Trying to get back to his feet is Carson Zarate. He does. Near side now, Sundberg doing the defensive work, shielding off the attacker. Wall keeps it in bounds with a flick header. Chico State will reset again. This looks like how this game's going to be played out. Chico State trying to break through. Padilla, he's in a battle here with Andrew Roeder. He gets fouled. And that's part of what Emmanuel Padilla provides to this team, the ability to play at the feet and play essentially as a last defender right now as Dyer collects that one. And maybe not completely necessary, but he'll go to ground on that one. Certainly in no hurry to distribute this one. He wants to send it long as he does, far beyond midfield. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper. As Padilla goes up for a header outside of his box. And the foul's going to be called against Fernandez. Padilla's in some pain. Clock will get stopped. That ended up being a perfectly weighted through ball by Dyer. Padilla had to go about 5 or 6 yards out of his box to play it. None of the defenders tried to go back to it. And Fernandez went in with an aerial duel against Padilla. He'll pick up a yellow card for it. 5th card brandished in this match by Snyder. A chippy one. Once again, the only 2 players not in that defensive line are Fernandez and Roeder. Janssen boots it away. Good touch there by Aiden Fernandez to bring it down on a turn. Janssen's not able to maintain possession. Manriquez, his cross is blocked by Tidblom. Under 5 remaining now. Collision after the throw-in. Beverly by the end line. Tidblom goes in and draws the free kick. Excellently done. And Sebastiano Silvetti certainly taking his time over there. And the referee decides to stop the clock because of it. Another part of the new NCAA rules, within 15 minutes, referees are allowed to stop the clock if they see that there is time wasting. Hakamada plays it forward. B.R.I. Brown gives it a look, but can't get there. Sundberg in a one-on-one duel with Silas Sells. He wins it and gets the throw in. The senior out of Rockland, California, against a lot of players from his home state, has been rock solid at fullback, as has this entire Vikings defense. Once again, how many times have we said it in 2023, but nothing getting through right now. Bunnell back on the pitch. Andrew Roeder, the goal scorer. What stands right now is what would be the winning goal. He's on the bench. Bunnell trying to double it. He gets a shoulder in the back of the captain, Preston Mall, and it's played immediately by Padilla off the free kick. Under 4 remaining now. Bunnell doing good work here to regain possession, take more seconds off the clock. Chico State's got to press the ball right now. Maybe some tired legs out there, but Western Washington is able to maintain possession for a little bit. Hakamada shoulder to shoulder. That's another free kick. There will be some bumps and bruises left on the players after this one. It has been physical from start to finish. Padilla plays it short, now back to him. Shows off the power in that boot, gets it all the way to the top of the 12-yard box. And Sundberg gets it away. Bunnell controls off the chest. Very well done by Eric Bunnell to bring it down, get around one defender and play it to Caden Wall. Aiden Fernandez is in the middle. 3 white shirts back. He plays it directly to Padilla. Not sure if that was supposed to be a shot or a cross, but in the end, an easy save for Padilla. The intensity by the Vikings right now is impressive as Caden Wall slides in. They're penning Chico State into their own half here, and they need to get into the attacking third quickly. Pure-eyed Brown ducks out of the way of that one, gets up to Beverly. Sliding in again is Sundberg. And again, Sundberg comes in to stop the pass, showing why he is one of the co-captains for this team. That time it's beyond his reach to Beverly. Tesfaye shoulder to shoulder. No foul, a goal kick. Can't do it any better than that. 2 minutes left in the match. Western looking to put up their second consecutive home win against a ranked opponent. Trying to make a statement here. Show that they are a contender in the West region in the GNAC. Dyer plays it long. Head coach Greg Brisbane up on the touchline, coaching the Vikings through every step of this last 2 minutes. Coming in is Janssen to take it away. It's 3-on-3 going towards Chico State's goal. Janssen's going to drive towards the corner, makes the smart decision. He's going to try to take more seconds off the clock here. Maul trying to take it away from him. Janssen showing off the fancy feet, and he cannot win the throw-in, but another 30 seconds or so probably taken off from that. Just over a minute remaining. Last 5 or 6 minutes have just been a masterclass in game management from Western Washington. Chico State don't have an answer right now. Sells ahead, easily taken away by Pure-Eye Brown and launched back towards Padilla. The 1 minute call goes over the intercom. Long ball by Padilla up towards the head of Beverly. The header is won by Tidblom, who's down on the ground in some pain. It looks like he's going to stay down. With 40 seconds left, referee might let it play out, and he now does stop the clock so Janssen can get looked at. So Joar Tidblom can get some attention. Putting the body on the line once again there. He's been physical all match, and he went up for a highly contested aerial duel and looked to go to ground hard. 41 seconds remain. Chico State, right now, they're just trying to salvage a draw. The Vikings, a team that haven't been ranked since the 2022 season. Even then, it was a 25 rank in the nation. Chico State coming into this season, number 18. They lost just one regular season game in 2023. That's a dangerous ball in by Padilla, but it finds Dyer, who dives on it. Is that the last opportunity for the Wildcats? 30 seconds. Dyer in no rush. Long ball over midfield, controlled very skillfully by Bunnell, and a little backheel to Janssen as well. Throw in Western Washington, that's going to do it. Akamada will take the throw in. The seconds count down. Well, you could not ask for a better start to the 2024 season for the Western Washington Vikings. They upset a ranked Chico State squad. Their second consecutive win against a ranked opponent here at Harrington Field after upsetting Simon Fraser senior night in 2023. And Western Washington, they thoroughly earned this win in traditionally Greg Brisbane's style, getting the goal that they needed after solid defense, full 90 minutes, only allowing 8 shots to Chico State. And you thought that this was two defensive teams, that first goal was going to be the difference, and it ended up being the difference. Andrew Roeder gets on the end of a wobbling, deflected ball and makes no mistake from 6 yards out. Western Washington are 1-0 in 2024. Chico State, they fall to 0-1 here on this early season non-conference road trip. Now stick around here. At 7 o'clock, in just over an hour, the Western Washington women will be taking on MSU Denver. And back here on Saturday, the women will be taking on Chico State, as well as the Colorado Springs squad. Cal State LA will be next week for the Western Washington men. A lot of soccer on tap. Volleyball as well over in Carver Gym. We hope that you can watch it all here on Vikings TV. Final score here from Harrington Field. Game 1 of the doubleheader. Western Washington steals an upset win against the Chico State Wildcats, 1-0. I've been Adam Race. Thank you for tuning in. Good afternoon. And as always, go Vikes.